Hello everyone, this is Venom, and today we are bringing you the Titan exotic combinations for the Prismatic class items. So last time I went over some exotic class item combinations that I was looking forward to for Final Shape for the Hunter. Today we're going to be looking at the Titan. Now I've got 5 PvE combinations and 1 PvP combinations, and of course the honorable mention. We're going to go through some of those, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, again, the honorable mention, I'm saying it's probably going to be good for all builds, for all classes. It's going to be just a generic, really good build. It's going to be the Heart of Inmost Light, which is called the Spirit of Inmost Light here, combined with the Spirit of the Star Eater. Again, I know Heart of Inmost Light was nerfed. Does not matter because it's still a generic boost to all the skills that class is going to have, all classes, on top of a generic strong boost to the damage that your super is going to do as well. So, the Heart of Inmost Light and the Spirit of the Star Eater, I think, is going to be a combination every class should look for. That being said, here are my next 5 for the Titan in no particular order. Now, first off, this is one I think is going to be great for Grandmasters as well as the regular content as well, but that's going to be the Spirit of the Abeyant and the Spirit of the Armamentarium. Now, the Spirit of the Abeyant says improves Dranger's Lash. Dranger's Lash projectiles track targets more aggressively and travel further. And, of course, the Spirit of Armamentarium is going to grant you a second grenade charge. The Titan has access to the Chakra Grenade. Combine that with the Spirit of the Abeyant and the Dranger's Lash, which will suspend enemies. You've got a Grandmaster suspending machine. Combine that with the Strand Super for Titan. You basically have an improved Strand Titan already right there. I mean, those two combined. The only thing you're going to be missing, unfortunately, is going to be the Banner War. If I had to choose one, honestly, I probably would have taken the Banner War as far as aspect goes, but Dranger's Lash is a close second. I think this is going to be very, very good. Now, you're not going to have Banner War for Grandmasters, but I think this is going to be a good one that's going to allow you to still... You're going to be suspending enemies like crazy on this one. Now, it's still going to be good for low to mid-tier stuff too, but I think for mid to high-tier stuff, I think for Grandmasters, this combination is going to be insane. And it's one that, again... We never thought we'd see something like this. I can't wait to see this one and try it out for Grandmasters on the Titan. Now, while we're on the topic of Titan exotic effects, I am a little upset I did not see the Stronghold on here. I was really hoping that the Stronghold was going to be an effect we would have that would be in the generic pool, because I really wanted like a Stronghold Hunter. But yeah, it's just a little FYI for you guys. I was really hoping for the Stronghold. That's the one. I don't think I made a video mentioning Stronghold, but I think, or I might have brought that one up, because I did mention a lot, and it was a generic one. I think I really wanted it to be one, unfortunately it's not, so that's kind of one that just occurred to me. Stronghold's not on there, and I really wanted it to be, so that really sucks. That being said, the next one up here is going to be the Spirit of the Severance, Spirit of Severance, and Spirit of Contact. The Spirit of Severance says, powered melee or finish your final blows unleash a damaging explosion. And the Spirit of Contact says, damaging a target with a powered melee causes all nearby enemies to suffer lightning strikes and become jolted. So, I don't know how these are going to work in tandem. That's one of the reasons that this is on the list. But it looks like whenever you punch an enemy with a powered melee final blow, you're going to be essentially blowing up the entire room. Now, Spirit of Severance already does pretty well. Now, currently, on the regular light subclasses we got right now, using specific abilities and proccing certain things will allow your regular uncharged melees to cause explosions. It's actually really good. I use it in raids all the time to help me clear ads. It's really, really fun to use. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work with the prismatic effect. So you are going to have to use your regular, powered up melees, your charged melees to get this Spirit of Severance to work, and the Spirit of Contact. But that being said, whether you kill your enemy or not, or the enemies around you die or not, you should be basically doing a ton of damage to all the enemies around you. So imagine just killing like a thrall or something, and then all the big enemies around you are not only going to explode, but they're also going to take lightning damage and become jolted as well. I think this is going to be really good at ad clearing. I think it's going to be really great for low to mid tier content, and this is not one I think is going to work really well in the higher tier stuff, but I think you're going to easily become a punching machine, more than a Titan already is, using this combination here. Now, you are going to have to use your charged melee attacks, your power melee attacks, so I definitely suggest using the strand melee because it comes with 3 charges. That being said, I can't wait to try this one out. I might try this one also with the shield toss as well, because that will be basically a range powered melee. That'd be really good to use. Clear out rooms before you even get there, so keep that in mind. Like I said, Spirit of Severance and the Spirit of Contact. Alright, so the next one is weird because there are a couple effects that this could work with. Now, the first part is going to be the Spirit of Valpalupi, and it says generates a healing pulse when Barricade is activated. Now, the other effect is going to be one of two. This is going to be, technically speaking, this is two different combinations, but I don't know how they're going to work. That's why I'm listing them both here. The first one is going to be the Spirit of Hoarfrost, and the second is going to be the Spirit of Abandon. I don't know if they're going to work together, and that's going to be the problem. So each of these with the Alpha Loopy, I'm hoping will work together. So the Alpha Loopy is going to generate a healing pulse. The Spirit of Hoarfrost says your barricade becomes a wall of stasis crystals that slows nearby targets when created. I don't know if they're going to work together. I assume they will. But basically, if that combination works, you're going to put out a healing pulse with your barricade. But that barricade is also going to be just a wall of stasis crystals. It's going to freeze enemies. And it's pretty big, too. Now, if that one doesn't work, that's going to suck. I'm sure it will, but the other one is going to be the Spirit of Abandon. Improved Render's Lashes, of course, that's the one we just talked about a little bit ago. That's another one. I don't know if that one's going to work. That one will probably be more likely to work than the Hoarfrost will, but essentially any barricade ability combined with the Spirit of Avalupi. So even if you don't have on a barricade ability, just your regular barricade is going to cause a healing pulse, but I was thinking, what else can we do besides getting a healing pulse? So with the Hoarfrost, you're going to be freezing enemies and blocking a lot of damage coming in because, again, those stasis crystals go up pretty high, but you're going to slow and freeze enemies while you were healing yourself and your teammates. Same thing with the Spirit of Abandon. You're going to essentially be stopping your enemies, whether they be Guardians or, PvE enemies, and healing your teammates. I like to combine those effects to do multiple things with one, and that's why I wanted to talk about both of those together. Now, I don't know which one of these I prefer. I would say honestly, I would probably have to go with the Spirit of the Abandon, because I know I can suspend anything, no matter, whether it's Guardians or whether it's PvE enemies. Let's just a boss are going to get suspended. The Spirit of Hoarfrost, you can break through the stasis crystals somewhat easily, so I'm not necessarily too keen on that one, but if you're freezing enemies, it does help too. If you don't freeze them, it's only going to protect you for so long versus a regular barrier, but if you do freeze them, that's just bonus damage. So next up on the list, I've got down the Spirit of Severance and the Spirit of the Synthoceps. Now, these are basically going to work in tandem. Now, the Spirit of Severance will only work with powered melees, but Spirit of Synthoceps should work with any melee. So once you run out of melee charges, the Synthoceps should still allow you to do extra damage when you're surrounded by enemies. And if you're doing a melee build, you should have enemies nearby you at all times. So the Spirit of Severance will cause your powered melee blows to cause explosions and help clear stuff around you. If there's anything left over and you're out of charges, your regular melee should still do additional damage. So the Spirit of Severance and Spirit of Synthoceps is going to be great for melee builds. Like I said, I still recommend using the 3-banger, the Strand melee, but this should work with any melee build. Now, I probably wouldn't use this one with Shield Throw because you do want to be closer to enemies for this one, but it would technically work with that one, but you're not really going to be close to me. So it would work, but you would really be wasting the Synthoceps part of that build. And then finally, I've got the Spirit of Inmost Light and the Spirit of the Armamentarium. Now, this one's going to be more of a generic build. This is not going to be one that's going to be doing anything crazy, no crazy explosions. This is going to be, again, just an ability boosting combination here. It's going to be a regen boosting combination. Now, again, the Heart of Inmost Light is not going to be doing any additional damage. We got the regen bonus for this one. And again, I do know that it was nerfed. However, with that nerf, having a second grenade is going to help as well. This is, again, going to be a very, very generic build. So I think with that second grenade, granted, the Heart of Inmost Light still not going to be back to where it was in its heyday, but having that generic ability cooldown sometimes is just as good as having some crazy exotic effects. So I want you to keep that one in mind. A lot of people really hate on the Heart of Inmost Light now. I get it. I understand why, because I did use the Heart of Inmost Light in its heyday too, and I had some pretty crazy builds on my Titan too. Now, I fully understand why people are upset about it, but if you only played today and never saw what it looked like in its heyday, the Heart of Inmost Light is still a pretty good ability. So it's still good. It's not S tier anymore. I'd say probably B or A tier. But I still understand why people are upset with it. Don't overlook it, and don't overlook how it would work with a second grenade. And I'm curious to see if those effects will stack. If they don't have a second grenade and the Heart of Inmost Light is still going to work, and you can take advantage of your grenade getting kind of overcharged by having a second grenade. You might be using your class ability a lot and your melee abilities a lot. Your grenade may be full. Go ahead and let that additional energy run over to your second grenade charge. So I think as a generic build, this would be a pretty good one. Will it be the top one that I'm looking to farm? Probably not, but it's going to be a pretty decent one. Now, as far as the top builds I'm looking to farm for the Titan, I definitely think the Spirit of Severance and the Spirit of Contact is one that I really want to see. Whether or not it's one I really want to farm for that much, I don't know yet because I don't know what it looks like. And that's the excitement for some of these builds too. I don't know what some of these builds are going to look like when we actually put them into a practical application. So I'm most curious to see what kind of explosive damage Severance and Contact do. Past that, I'm really not sure. I think if I had to choose, I'd say probably the Spirit of the Obeyant, or Spirit of the Obeyant, and the Spirit of the Armamentarium are going to be one I really like using, just because I'm going to be able to suspend everything. So that's what I'm looking to do. Past that, I think my third one is definitely going to be the Spirit of the Horn, and Spirit of Alpha Lupi, and the Spirit of Horrorprowse, because I want to see how those two work together. So now, as far as the PvP role I would be looking for Titan, again, I'm not a PvPer. Even when I do, I'm playing a Hunter, so correct me if I'm wrong, any of you Titans down there. Let me know if you think this combination is going to be any good or not. But I was actually looking at the Spirit of the Obeyant. I keep saying Obeyant. Along with the Spirit of Scars, which says, final blows with weapons that have a damage type matching your super's element create a burst of healing around you that grants allies restoration. Essentially, getting kills is going to grant you restoration. I don't know how good it's going to be. Granted, you're going to be giving it to you and your allies, so that's going to be giving you some additional healing. That should give you like a +1 or something as far as I know, and I might be using the terminology incorrectly, so forgive me. But having that healing while you're taking damage, I think would be pretty good. I don't know how well it'll work, but being able to help suspend enemies while you are healing by getting kills, sounds like the better you play, the more you'll be able to help out your team, like actually help them, because you will be restoring them. So again, I don't know if that's a great role or not. You guys let me know. You Titan mains, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think a good PvP role is, or what you know to be a good role, because you guys do this stuff already. So that being said, that's going to do it for today. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it. We'll be doing the Warlock next. Once we finish all of the classes, I'm going to go ahead and start up the build videos again. I've got to redo the build videos I had ready to go, because we know what the combinations are now. So those are still in the back burner. I have not refilmed them yet. I'm going to have to do that once I'm done with all these, but those builds should look even better now that we know what the combinations for the exotic class items are. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you all for coming by, and I will see you on the next video.